National Weather Service in Tampa Bay Ruskin has issued a flash flood warning for Hardee County in central Florida, DeSoto County in south central Florida, southwestern Highlands County in south central Florida, Charlotte County in southwestern Florida, northern Lee County in southwestern Florida, eastern Manatee County in west central Florida, Sarasota County in west central Florida, until 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 5:52 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Doppler radar indicated heavy rain associated with Hurricane Ian is producing heavy rain across the warned area. Between 5 and 16 inches of rain have fallen. Additional rainfall amounts of 3 to 6 inches are possible in the warned area through 9 p.m. Flash flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly. Hazard: flash flooding caused by Hurricane Ian. Source: radar and automated gauges. Impact: flash flooding of small creeks and streams, urban areas, highways, streets and underpasses, as well as other poor drainage and low-lying areas. Some locations that will experience flash flooding include Cape Coral, North Port, Sarasota, Bradenton, Punta Gorda, Arcadia, Wauchula, Port Charlotte, Southeast Arcadia, Mayaca City, Charlotte County Airport, Mayaca River State Park, Babcock Web WMA, Babcock Ranch, Ana, Lake Sarasota, Lakewood Ranch, Sarasota Springs, Southgate Ridge and Gulf Gate Estates. Turn around, don't drown when encountering flooded roads. Most flood deaths occur in vehicles. Be aware of your surroundings and do not drive on flooded roads. Flood watch remains in effect through late Thursday night. What? Flooding caused by excessive rainfall continues to be possible. Where? Portions of southwest Florida and west central Florida, including the following areas: in southwest Florida, coastal Charlotte, coastal Lee, inland Charlotte and inland Lee. In west central Florida, coastal Citrus, coastal Hernando, coastal Hillsborough, coastal Levy, coastal Manatee, coastal Pasco, coastal Sarasota, DeSoto, Hardee, Highlands, inland Citrus, inland Hernando, inland Hillsborough, inland Levy, inland Manatee, inland Pasco, inland Sarasota, Pinellas, Polk and Sumter. When? Through late Thursday night. Impacts: excessive runoff may result in flooding of rivers, creeks, streams, and other low-lying and flood-prone locations. Creeks and streams may rise out of their banks. Flooding may occur in poor drainage and urban areas. Low water crossings may be flooded. Storm drains and ditches may become clogged with debris. Extensive street flooding and flooding of creeks and rivers are possible. Area creeks and streams are running high and could flood with more heavy rain. Additional details: https://www.weather.gov/safety/ flood. You should monitor later forecasts and be alert for possible flood warnings. Those living in areas prone to flooding should be prepared to take action should flooding develop. This is NOAA Weather Radio KHB32 Tampa Bay, the voice of the National Weather Service, broadcasting at a frequency of 162.55 megahertz. The tower for KHB32 is located in Riverview, in Hillsborough County, and serves west central Florida, with programming originating from the National Weather Service office in Ruskin. The station provides warning alerts for Hillsborough, Pinellas, Pasco, Polk, Hardee, and Manatee counties. The current time is 6:09 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. A hurricane warning remains in effect for the following counties: in Florida, DeSoto, Hardee, Highlands, inland Charlotte, inland Hillsborough, inland Manatee, inland Sarasota and Polk. A tropical storm warning remains in effect for the following counties: in Florida, inland Citrus, inland Hernando, inland Levy, inland Pasco and Sumter. Tide forecast. At St. Petersburg, high tide Wednesday at 4:51 p.m. Low tide Wednesday at 9:57 p.m. A storm surge warning remains in effect and a tropical storm warning remains in effect for the following counties: in Florida, coastal Citrus, coastal Hernando, coastal Levy and coastal Pasco. A storm surge warning remains in effect and a hurricane warning remains in effect for the following counties: in Florida, coastal Charlotte, coastal Hillsborough, coastal Lee, coastal Manatee, coastal Sarasota, inland Lee and Pinellas. The Tampa climate summary for this evening, as of 5 p.m., September 28, 2022. Today's high temperature was 76 degrees. This high was 13 degrees below the normal high of 89. The record high is 95 degrees, which was set in 1961. Today's low temperature was 73 degrees. This low was 1 degree below the normal low of 74. The record low is 62 degrees, which was set in 1931. 1.68 inches of precipitation fell today, which brings the monthly total to 11.50 inches. This is 5.69 inches above the normal amount of 5.81 inches for September. The total precipitation for the season since September 1st now stands at 11.50 inches, which is 5.69 inches above normal. The total precipitation for the year is now 52.53 inches, which is 9.63 inches above normal. Today the maximum wind observed was 37 miles an hour from the northeast. The highest wind gust observed was 69 miles per hour from the north. The normal high temperature for tomorrow is 89 degrees, and the normal low is 74. The record high for tomorrow is 94, which occurred in 2018, and the record low is 60, which occurred in 1909. Sunset tonight is at 7:20 p.m. Sunrise tomorrow is at 7:22 a.m. Flood warning remains in effect until further notice. What? Moderate flooding is occurring and major flooding is forecast. Where? Manatee River at Rye Bridge. When? Until further notice. Impacts: at 17 feet, water reaches the foundations of elevated homes and the Christian Retreat Center. Additional details: at 3:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time Wednesday, the stage was 14.5 feet. Recent activity: the maximum river stage in the 24 hours ending at 3:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time Wednesday was 14.5 feet. Forecast: the river is expected to rise to a crest of 15.3 feet just after midnight tonight. Flood stage is 11 feet. Flood history: this crest compares to a previous crest of 15.7 feet on September 22, 1979. https www.weather.gov/safety/flood. Flood warning remains in effect from late Thursday night until further notice. What? Moderate flooding is forecast. Where? Withlacoochee River at Groom. When? From late Thursday night until further notice. Impacts: at 9 feet, farms and pastoral in flood. Additional details: at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time Wednesday, the stage was 7.6 feet. Forecast: the river is expected to rise above flood stage early Friday morning and continue rising to 10.8 feet early Saturday afternoon. Additional rises are possible thereafter. Flood stage is 9 feet. Flood history: this crest compares to a previous crest of 10.8 feet on April 8, 1987. https www.weather.gov/safety/flood. Flood warning remains in effect from late Thursday night until further notice. What? Major flooding is forecast. This approaches the flood record. Where? Hillsborough River at Morris Bridge. When? From late Thursday night until further notice. Impacts: at 35.0 feet, portions of Morris Bridge Road about 3/4 of a mile south of the bridge begin to flood. Additional details: at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time Wednesday, the stage was 28.0 feet. Forecast: the river is expected to rise above flood stage early Friday morning and continue rising to 34.7 feet early Saturday afternoon. Additional rises are possible thereafter. Flood stage is 32.0 feet. Flood history: this crest compares to a previous crest of 34.7 feet on September 14, 2017. https www.weather.gov/safety/flood. Flood warning now in effect from late tonight until further notice. What? Major flooding is forecast. This approaches the flood record. Where? Cypress Creek at SR54 Worthington Gardens. When? From late tonight until further notice. Additional details: at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time Wednesday, the stage was 7.4 feet. Forecast: the river is expected to rise above flood stage just after midnight tonight and continue rising to 14.5 feet early Saturday afternoon. Additional rises are possible thereafter. Flood stage is 8 feet. Flood history. This crest compares to a previous crest of 13.8 feet on September 11, 2004. https www.weather.gov/safety/flood. Flood warning now in effect from late tonight until further notice. What major flooding is forecast? This approaches the flood record. Where? Hillsborough River near Hillsborough River State Park. When? From late tonight until further notice. Impacts at 13.4 feet. Streets in Crystal Springs flood and homes are isolated, but no flooding into homes occurs. Additional details at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time Wednesday. The stage was 3.6 feet. Forecast. The river is expected to rise above flood stage just after midnight tonight and continue rising to a crest of 15.1 feet early Friday morning. Flood stage is 10 feet. Flood history. This crest compares to a previous crest of 15.3 feet on March 18, 1960. https www.weather.gov/safety/flood. Flood warning now in effect from Thursday afternoon until further notice. What moderate flooding is forecast? Where? With Lakuchi at 301 Trilby. When? From Thursday afternoon until further notice. Impacts at 15.3 feet. Riverdale trailers are flooded. Additional details at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time Wednesday. The stage was 10.6 feet. Forecast. The river is expected to rise above flood stage early tomorrow afternoon and continue rising to 15.1 feet early Saturday afternoon. Additional rises are possible thereafter. Flood stage is 12 feet. Flood history. This crest compares to a previous crest of 14.9 feet on September 20, 2001. https www.weather.gov/safety/flood. Flood warning remains in effect until further notice. What major flooding is forecast? Where? Al-Afai River at Lithia. When? Until further notice. Impacts at 27.0 feet. Water covers County Road 640 Lithia area. Additional details at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time Wednesday. The stage was 12.2 feet. Forecast. The river is expected to rise above flood stage late this afternoon and continue rising to a crest of 25.9 feet Friday evening. Flood stage is 13 feet. Flood history. This crest compares to a previous crest of 24 feet on September 12, 1960. https www.weather.gov/safety/flood. Flood warning remains in effect until further notice. What minor flooding is occurring and major flooding is forecast? This approaches the flood record. Where? Little Manatee River at Waimama at 301. When? Until further notice. Additional details at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time Wednesday. The stage was 12.3 feet. Recent activity